Hello guys, good evening to all of you. Good evening Kiran, Sudhanshu, Bhumika and others who are in the process of joining. So students, as you know, this is last of our lectures in this series. We had planned 3 lectures pertaining to clearing your doubts on how to answer questions and how to solve case studies, how to answer MCQs, and basically how to study for the exams. So students, as you know, your exams are approaching very fast, and these are due to be held in November. So not much time is left now. So now you should scale your preparations to full level in top gear. So till now, if you are still not serious, then remove those hesitations and check out a proper schedule for studying at least 8 to 10 hours daily in the manner you feel you are comfortable. Okay, so students, Rajiv sir would be joining us in about half an hour. So till then, we can take a case study. You can read the case study, and then we can discuss questions. So I am sharing the case study with you. Yes. Yes. Is the screen visible to you? Yes, students. Is the screen visible to you? Yes, Bhumika, you are asking that our language in Caro 2020 should be same as given. Yes, these are legal provisions. So, Bhumika, you have to care. You have to take care to see that uh, even if you are writing in your words, but you do not change the meaning. So, obviously, technical words would have to be remembered as such because these are law provisions. Okay, this is not a general thing. These are law requirements. So yes, screen is visible. So students, you should start reading this case study. I'll scroll it a little bit. I am also simultaneously, I am also speaking also. CA Rajan Pillai is heading the engagement team conducting audit of a company. Okay. While audit is in progress, consider following issues regarding audit documentation. Now you have to consider following issues regarding audit documentation. What is the first issue? Audit program was prepared assigning responsibilities for different types of works to be performed by team members. So there are 4 team members. One is Mohit, CA final student. Rohit, he is also CA final student. Shobit, a paid chartered accountant employee of the firm, and CA Rajan, who is partner of the firm. Okay, so it is a very short case study. So the questions are little bit, I think, should be longer. The team has determined materiality for financial statements as a whole. The team has assessed risks of material misstatements to be low. CA Shobit is responsible for attending inventory count process and putting down its documentation part. During the course of audit, many related party transactions have come to notice. So have you understood or should I scroll up? So I am again scrolling it up. It's a fairly short case study. Just take a few minutes and quickly go through it. When you are done with the reading of the case study, do drop me mails that it is clear to you, that you have understood the contents of the case study. Yes, there are 5 points: point A, point B, point C, point D, and point E. So basically what it is, there is a audit team which is conducting audit of a company, and in audit program, responsibilities have been given to different persons. So engagement team consists of 4 persons. Mohit and Rohit are CA final students. Shobit is paid chartered accountant working in the firm, and CA Rajan is the partner of audit firm. So the team has determined materiality for financial statements. It has also assessed the risk for material misstatements to be low. And CA Shobit, who is a paid employee of the firm, who is also a chartered accountant, is responsible for attending inventory count process and putting down its documentation part. During course of audit, many related party transactions have come to notice. Now, guys, drop mails. Have you gone through the study materials so that sorry, have you gone through the case studies so that we can move to the questions? Yes, guys, drop the mails. Yes, waiting for your mail, students. Yes, Bhumika, you are saying that's done. And what about others? What about others? So now we move on to first question. Now, what is the first question? First question is that work relating to verification of revenue was assigned to Mohit in audit program. Okay, who was supposed to do revenue verification? Mohit was supposed to do verification relating to revenue. However, it is being performed by Rohit, who is another CA student. Verification of trade receivables was planned to be carried out by Rohit in audit program. However, it is being performed by CA Rajan due to last minute practical issues. Okay. So have you understood the question? कि एक काम मोहित को करना था रेवेन्यू वेरिफिकेशन का, बट it is being done actually by Rohit. In audit program, name was Mohit was there, but actually it is being done by Rohit. And verification of trade receivables was to be done by Rohit in audit program, but it is done by partner of the firm, Rajan himself. So which of the statements is most appropriate in this regard? Now 4 options are given: A, B, C, D. Now tell me what is the right answer. Four options are given: A, B, C, D. Tell me what is the right answer. Yes, yes, students, you are able to see all the options A, B, C, D. Tell me what should be the appropriate answer. What should be the option to question number 1? What should be the answer to question number 1? Yes, students, no response till now. Yes, Bhumika, Darshan, Sivaranjani, Kiran. Yes. What should be the right answer? Only two mails have come, Sudhanshu and Kiran. What about others? Yes, guys, send your mail so that we can discuss the answer of this question. Read once, twice, but try to give the try to give the correct answer. Yes, still only 5 mails have come. Students, today your strength seems to be poor, or you are not answering. Yes. So about 50% of you are saying C is the answer, and the rest of you are divided between A and D. Okay. So students, what is the intent of the question? It says that audit program was formulated and different persons were assigned different duties. However, due to last minute practical issues, some intershuffling took place, and the work which was supposed to be done by one person was actually performed by another person. So the uh, the question relates to should be such that it should reflect what was actually done, so that any other person while he is going through the documents, he can see how the audit was performed. So say in audit documentation, audit program would also be there, and say in audit program something was to be done by Mohit, and in fact it is being performed by Shobit, then wouldn't it create confusion? It would definitely create confusion. So therefore, the audit program should be suitably updated, or notes are given. Notes should be given in the documentation that due to last minute practical issues, this work was in fact performed by this person, but in audit program, the instruction was relating to performance of work by another person. So option C is the correct answer. So option C is the correct answer. This is the correct answer. So how, Kiran, you are writing A? Tell me how you are writing A. You are writing a audit program, names of persons and work to be performed. It is immaterial whether work assigned to one person is performed by another person. So when putting his documentation part, if it is not clear that who performs the work in accordance with the instructions, it is bound to lead to confusions. Suppose after a gap of 1-2 years, some regulatory issue arose, and the audit file of this company was called by the regulator. Then they would not be able to understand who performed what work, and why why this instruction was modified. It would give a distorted picture to them. So have you understood, Kiran and Deekshita and Siva Ranjani? How you are writing option D? How you are writing option D? Your option D relates to the changes in audit program or notes clarifying the matter required when only when a person not forming part of engagement team is deputed to perform a duty. Now this option is totally wrong. So is this thing clear to you? So what was the basic intent of it? The basic intent of it is that audit documentation should clearly reflect the sequence of events, the chain of events. Suppose if there has been change, then audit documentation, audit working papers should reflect that change. So this was the basic point. Simple, plain, common sense. It was simple, plain, common sense. In auditing, students, as I have been telling you, many questions you can do by applying your common sense. But you have to see that in this subject, common sense also develops when you have got a certain base. When you have got a certain base of knowledge, then your common sense regarding auditing would indeed develop. Okay. So can we move now to question number 2? So question number 2 is this. As regards materiality, which of following statements is most appropriate in context of audit documentation? Now, in the case study, it has been written that auditors determine materiality level. Okay. So the question is about documenting the materiality. Okay. So in audit documentation, while documenting the materiality, which of the following statements is most appropriate? And students, I have been telling you in MCQs, even if there is some confusion, you have to mark that option which is based in the circumstances, which is the best, which is the most appropriate. Okay. Yes, question number 2. Which option? 4 options are there. A, B, C, D. Which option? Probably you are still not able to see D option. So I would scroll down. D is this one. So first you read 3, then again I would come to D option. So first you analyze first 3 options, then I shall scroll down for D option. Okay, so you have gone through all the 3 options and now D option. So you have seen D. So now again I am showing you first 3 and D. Yes, 3 mails have come from Varsha, Darshan and Singh Rajiv Kumar. Yes, guys. Now we are on question number 2. We are on question number 2. Varsha, you are still stuck up at 1. We are at question number 2. Yes. Yes. So almost all of you are writing C. So we also go with C. C is the correct answer. So materiality arrived on basis of professional judgment along with factor considered in documentation has to be documented. So this we had read, students, while doing chapter 2. So this is the right answer. Obviously, you have to remember that what materiality has to be documented in working papers. That is the one thing. So first option goes out. It says that there is no need to document. What is second option? Second option is that materiality depends upon professional judgment of auditor. This is correct. Whatever amount has been determined can be documented in working papers. But this is not appropriate. Factors also have to be documented. Okay, so this is C is better than B. Okay, and what is D? D is materiality has been arrived upon professional judgment. It also depends upon professional judgment whether he wants to document it or not. So this is also totally wrong. Whatever materiality has been determined, this along with factors used for determining materiality, like whether say the auditor has determined materiality using benchmark of profit before tax. So he would have to state the factors that how he arrived at this materiality level. Okay. And Sankaran, how you are writing D? This is totally wrong option. How come? How you are writing D? Auditor has to document materiality. It documenting materiality is doesn't depend upon his professional judgment. He has to document it. So clear, students. Now we move on to question 3. As regards team's assessment that risk of material misstatement is low, which of the following statements is odd one? Now it is asking which of the following statements is odd one relating to documentation of risk. So guys, while reading questions, you have to see what the question is asking from you, whether it is asking true, whether it is asking false, whether it is asking not true. Again, same thing, equivalent to false. Whether it is asking odd one means 3 statements fall in um, uh, one parameter, and one statement is odd one. Okay. So tell me what should be the right answer of question number 3. Yes, Sankaran is saying that he realized the mistake. So Sankaran, it's okay if you know the answer, it's okay. But also while marking on your OMR sheet, please remember that whatever your mind has determined to be the proper answer, you mark that answer in the OMR sheet. It is not that OMR sheet doesn't know, the computers don't know that what was in your mind. So suppose the answer was C and you marked it T, then you would lose the marks. Yes. Which of the following statements is odd one? Yes, only one mail has come. Yes, students. As regards team's assessment that risk of material misstatement is low, which statement is odd one out? Which appears to be wrong? So this whole question pertains to documentation. Documentation you had read in chapter 3, but what this case study does, it is asking documentation part questions from different chapters, from different areas. Okay, like it is asking you about documentation aspects regarding materiality. It is asking you documentation aspect regarding risk assessment. Okay, and it was in the first question it was asking documentation aspects regarding audit program. Yes, 5-7 mails have come. So students, some of you are writing A, some of you are writing C, and some of you are writing D. Okay, now let us see. Let us see all the options one by one. Now discussion among us when engagement team members and detail of significant decision reached. Obviously, what was the discussion? How risk was arrived at? How did the engagement team arrive at the decision that risk of material misstatements in the financial statements is on low side? This was what was written in the case study, na? So how did the team arrive at this decision? This has to be documented. It is part of audit documentation. Details of, and Varsha is writing B. This was left out. Varsha is stating B. So details of risk assessment procedures have to be documented. Okay. So what risk assessment procedures were actually performed? Procedures to auditor ko students, he has to document any audit procedures, be it risk assessment procedures, be it substantive procedures, be it tests of controls, or be it substantive analytical procedures. These have to be documented. Any audit procedure has to be documented. Then how this can be a odd one out, Varsha? Tell me. And see details of how understanding of each component of internal control was obtained. Now has to be documented. Now this internal control, we had read about all the 5 components of internal control, like control environment and entities risk assessment process. Say two of those 5. So obviously auditor would be documenting that how did he arrive at the understanding about the company's risk assessment process, how the company arrives at its business risk. Okay, so therefore all these things have to be documented. And what is D? D is precise calculation of risk of material misstatements has to be documented. So what? This is odd one out. So this is the answer. This is the answer. Why? Because we know that risk of material misstatement, it cannot be precisely arrived. Auditor can just say that risk of material misstatement is low, it is high, or say it is medium, but how can he arrive some decimal points or percentage to risk of material misstatements? Because it is a matter of judgment only. We had read well while doing chapter 4 that precise calculation of risk of material misstatement is not possible. So this statement is odd one out. So how you are writing A, how you are writing B, and how you are writing C, I fail to understand. Varsha, is it clear to you? Dikshita and Darshan, you have answered correctly. Bhumika has also answered correctly. So yes, guys, tell me, is the point clear to you? Yes, students, tell me, is the point clear to you? Now we quickly go to question number 4. So question 4 is CA Shobit. So who was CA Shobit? He was paid employee in the engagement team. He is responsible for attending physical inventory count of the company. So his responsibility, what was his responsibility? His responsibility was to attend physical inventory count of the company, say in accordance with SA 501. So which of the following is usually not true with regard, in this regard, relating to audit documentation? Now he is CA Shobit, he is attending inventory count process of the company. While inventories are being counted, he takes part in that process. He has attended that process. Now what he is to document and what he is not to document. So question is asking which of the following is usually not true. It means which of the following, all the three out of four statements are true and one is false. So you have to find out which statement is not true, which is false. Okay. So I am showing you first three of these, then I will scroll down to show you fourth number. So students, do not rush to give the answer. First, at least go through all the four options. So you have gone through all the three options A, B, C, and now this is D. So I'm showing you again, guys. So first three options are this. First option is date on which physical inventory count process was attended by him should be documented. It may include photographs of that date showing his attendance of inventory counting process at a particular location. B is detail of test counting undertaken. C is detail of obsolete goods found should form part of audit documentation. And D is reports showing that stocks conform to quality control standards in accordance with law are essential part of audit documentation. Yes. Yes, guys, waiting for your responses. Question number 4, waiting for your responses. Yes, only 2-3 mails have come. Yes, Darshan Singh, Rajiv Kumar, Himanshu Pathak. Yes, students. Others. Yes, Bhumika. So three options are this, and D option is this. So I am again showing you all options. Yes, guys, send your mails. Where are you stuck up? Now, students, some mails have come, and I think your opinion relating to answer of this question seems to be pretty divided. Now, few are writing A. Diksha is saying A. Santigha Y. She is also saying A. And some are saying D. And Bhumika is saying C. Okay. And Kiran Shukla, she is saying B. So everybody is having his own opinion about it. So guys, Ishika Arora, she is saying A. Okay. So tell me guys. So students, I always tell you that you hit at the fundamentals. You hit at the fundamentals. You should try to judge the intent, because some things, some words, some lines might be inserted in questions just to befool you. Okay. So you have to be careful to not to fall in such traps. And Sushil Kumar Barik, he is saying D. Okay. So guys, your opinion seems to be fairly divided. Now tell me students, when an auditor attends physical inventory count of a company, when he attends physical inventory count process of a company, what is the purpose of it? So this you had read in essay 501. What is the purpose of it? Say if you remember the purpose, if you remember the objective, you can answer all the questions. So even while remembering essays also, you have not to forget about the objective, that what this essay was all about and what was the purpose, what is the purpose of auditor, what is the objective of auditor as per this essay. If you remember this much also, the basic questions you can answer, the questions calling for basic understanding, that can be, those can be answered by you. Yes. Now Darshan is saying this is a good case study. I have been caught between dilemma between two options. But Darshan, I think you are on the right side of your dilemma, and you are answering probably questions rightly. And Darshan, tell me, have you appeared for group 2 in the exam just held now? Have you appeared for group 2 in the exams just held now? In the exams held in May? Yes. So what was the purpose of essay 501 as far as attending physical inventory count process by an auditor is concerned? Yes, Kiran is saying Yes, Darshan is saying that I cleared my foundation in previous November. So you would be appearing now. Okay. So are you appearing for both groups or a single group or group 2 only? So Kiran is saying to verify existence. Yes, existence and to verify its accuracy. Yes. So students, none of you none of you is able to write the correct those two keywords which form objective of the auditor in accordance with SA 501 as far um, as far as his duties regarding attending at physical inventory count are concerned. So objective of the auditor is to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence about two things. That is, number one is existence and number two is condition. Of what? Condition of inventories. So Dikshita, litigation and claims is another part of this essay. Essay 501 consists of three parts. One relates to attendance at physical inventory count. Second relates to legal litigation and claims, and third relates to segment information. Okay, so we are talking about only about physical inventory count process. Okay, so what was option A, students? So Rajiv sir has also joined us, so I'll be giving it to him after we complete fifth question also. Okay. So what was the fourth option? Fourth option, what was the first option? First option was date on which physical inventory count process was attended by him should be documented. And it may also include photographs of that date showing his attendance. So if he writes in the audit documentation that this was the date on which he attended the inventory counting process, and these are two attached photographs which show that in fact I attended the inventory counting process. So doesn't it prove that he is obtaining audit evidence about the existence of inventories, that he in fact attended physical inventory counting process? It shows that he attended physical inventory counting process. He is documenting a date. He is also attaching photographs. Obviously, this should be there in documentation. Photographs may not be there, but if these are there is no harm. Nowhere in essay it is written that photographs should be there. But if these are there, it is it increases quality of his work. Okay. Why? And what was option number 2? Option B. It related to detail of test counting undertaken. So what the auditor has to do at inventory count process, he has to test count. Obviously, whatever the boxes, pieces or rolls, whatever he is counting, he would make a sample and he would test count. Besides observing the counting process, he would also make a test count. So this is also true. This also needs to be documented, because why? Because it is one of his responsibilities as directly defined, as directly stated in SA 501. And what was the option C? Option C relates to detail of obsolete goods found should form of audit documentation. Okay. So what are obsolete goods related to, students? So what I had told you, that what is the funda of SA 501 to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence about existence and condition of inventories. So koi, whether say goods are of very old nature are there, these are broken goods, okay, say in case of some items, or these are of say damaged goods which can't be sold. So where if the goods are obsolete, this thing is directly related to condition of inventories. So what remains? Fourth option remains, that report showing that stocks conform to quality control standards in accordance with law. So there are some standards like you can say BIS standards relating to products, like say I am conducting inventory count of an electric company. So switches, whether these are in accordance with Bureau of Quality Control standards, it what I have to do with it as far as my audit is concerned. So these usually are not part. Usually the question in question it is stated usually. So these are usually not part of audit documentation. Okay. So whether some specified quality control measures which were required in a particular product, whether these were followed or not, what the auditor would do about it? He is not in. We have learned that he is not an expert of everything. Okay, he has to see that whatever the stock, when he attends the physical inventory count, he has to see that the goods which he is attendance of the goods which he is seeing being counted, whether these exist, and whether primarily, whether prima facie these are not obsolete goods, these are not damaged goods, these are not old goods. Okay, say in case of this electric company, some goods might be switches which are of which are made of material of say plastic, then these might be broken, might be in broken condition. So it is his duty to see to open up some box. Because why? Because ultimately it would be affecting valuation. And students, you have also to remember that in SA 501, auditor is not concerned about valuation. That is a separate issue. In SA 501, he is concerned only about existence and condition of inventories. Okay, so is that clear? So quickly, I shall come to question number 5, and then I shall be handing over to Rajiv sir. So as regards related party transactions, which of following should not be part of audit documentation? Yes. Yes, Bhumika, you are saying that you got confused between C and D. It is because you didn't read the options properly. So obsolete goods, this definitely falls in the domain of the auditor while he is attending physical inventory count process. Question number 5, yes, it is fairly simple question, guys. There are many related party transactions and which should not be part of transaction. So we know that when there are related party transactions, it is the duty of auditor to see that all the related party transactions are adequately identified and these are disclosed in the financial statements. And he has also to see that these related party documentations are at an arm's length price. So as what is arm's length price? Arm's length price means that that the company would be doing transaction with related parties in the same way in which it is dealing with other third parties. Say if I am purchasing some goods at say rupees 100 rupees kg from Mr. X, who is not a related party, then I should purchase the same goods from a related party around the same price. Okay. So close length is the wrong option. So option is option D. This should not be the part of documentation. Yes, MCQ 4, Sushil, the answer was D. In MCQ 4, the answer was D. Yes, now many of you are writing in question number 5 that answer is D. So probably you got confused in question number 4, but question number 5 you have understood. So 1, 2 question would be there to in form of a giving a googly to you. Okay. So guys, have you understood all the 5 questions? So over to Rajiv sir now. Over to Rajiv sir. Yes sir, we have already done case study, second case study, and all the questions I have explained to you. Over to you now, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And good evening, everyone. Yes, students, in last lecture on 15th June, 15th, 17th को सर ने लेक्चर लिया था, फिर अभी आज 20th. ये स्टूडेंट्स 15th को मैंने आपको कुछ टिप्स बताए थे. 15th को कुछ टिप्स मैंने बताए थे. फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने कहा था कि आप 5 डेफिनेशंस हर रोज से उनको प्रैक्टिस करिए और 5 टाइम्स ईच फॉर एटलीस्ट 3 days. तो may I know from you how many students have started doing? May I know how many students have started? Because those who have started, those who did not do earlier, and they have now started, now also they would have achieved a target of 20 to 30 definitions at least. 20 definitions to minimum I can say in this 4 days. कितने स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिन्होंने स्टार्ट कर दिया एटलीस्ट? क्योंकि स्टार्ट करना बहुत जरूरी है, अदरवाइज आपका बैकअप नहीं बनेगा. ये बैकअप है जो कि एबीसी का काम करता है ऑडिटिंग में.
Yes, students, Rajiv sir is asking from you whether you are working on definitions. Yes, drop your mails. Yes, Sonali is saying she has done 25 definitions.
25. Sonali has started. It means she has started.
Yes, Diksha is also saying 25.
Sonali, आपने कौन-कौन से definitions करे हैं?
Sonali, tell Rajiv sir the definitions you have learned by now.
और क्या आपने लिंकेज बना के किए या नहीं किए?
Yes, students, he is asking something from you, which definitions you have done and whether you have been able to make linkages or not. And some students are again asking about answer of question number 4. Probably due to network issues, they couldn't hear properly. So I repeat, the answer to question number 4 MCQ is D, option D. Yes, Sonali, tell quickly which definitions you have done. No, sir is asking which definitions. Do not write generally.
25 definitions you have done, Sonali. So which definitions you have taken up?
Sir is asking names of those concepts which you have learned. And Diksha, you also send the names, right? 4, 5 names, 5, 7 names, right? Only Diksha, you are writing only one. What about other things? You are saying 25. Just so either you are not giving the correct picture or write at least 5, 7. Yes. Yes, those of you guys who are writing, we had done 25, some is Siva Ranjani, you are saying 40. And when the sir is asking, write the names, you are showing blank. That's
चलो
not fair.
चलो, इसको हम ज्यादा पुल नहीं करते आशीष जी,
No,
ज्यादा
she
पुल
is
नहीं करते,
writing,
लेकिन मैं
Sonali has given 2. She is stating essay 240 auditor's responsibility relating to fraud and essay
नहीं नहीं
220 quality control.
but this is not definition ना.
This is not definition.
Definitions like audit evidence क्या होता है, audit documentation, audit risk, inherent risk, control risk क्या
So
होता
let
है.
us say Diksha, you have done 240, essay 240, then try to explain to sir what do you understand by fraud. What is the definition of fraud?
तो स्टार्टिंग में टू स्टार्ट विथ तो फ्रॉड से आपको करना ही नहीं चाहिए, आपको स्टार्ट करना चाहिए चैप्टर 3 से, डेफिनेशन पार्ट जो उसमें काफी ज्यादा है. चैप्टर 3 एंड 4 पिकअप करिए स्टूडेंट्स. अच्छा चलो, मैं कहता हूं अभी भी नहीं शुरू करा जिसने, तो आज से शुरू कर लो, आज से शुरू कर लो स्टूडेंट्स. स्टार्ट तो करना ही पड़ेगा बिकॉज एग्जाम आपके पास आ गए हैं बिल्कुल, और अभी एग्जाम को दूर समझना बहुत बड़ी मिस्टेक है स्टूडेंट. सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम मैंने लास्ट लेक्चर में भी हाईलाइट किया था जब मैं आया था कि सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम क्या है, स्टूडेंट्स को एग्जाम दूर बहुत लगते हैं. तो अभी तो बहुत महीने पड़े हैं, अभी तो जुलाई पूरा है, अभी अगस्त पूरा है, सितंबर पूरा है, अक्टूबर, और वो टाइम फटाफट से बीत जाता है बिकॉज जो तैयारी करना है, एग्जाम ओरिएंटेड जो तैयारी करना है, वो इटसेल्फ बहुत टाइम कंज्यूमिंग टास्क है. स्टूडेंट्स आप शुरू कर दो तैयारी करनी है बिकॉज क्लासेस हैव कम टू एन एंड. टुडे इज द लास्ट लेक्चर. ऐसा नहीं है कि हम ये लेक्चर दे के और उसके बाद आप मुझे कॉल कर सकते हो. मैंने लास्ट लेक्चर के अंदर जब मैं आया था तो मैंने अपने फोन नंबर शेयर किए थे, और 2 बार शेयर किए थे, और अभी आज भी शेयर कर दूंगा स्टूडेंट्स. अभी क्लासेस खत्म होने के बाद भी आप बोर्ड ऑफ स्टडीज के टच में रहें, और मुझे आप कभी भी कॉल कर सकते हैं एनी टाइम. डोंट इवन आई टेक योर कॉल्स इवन ऑन सैटरडे संडे, देयर इज नो बार ऑन इट. आप कभी भी मुझे कॉल कर सकते हैं, और अगर मैं उस समय फोन नहीं उठा रहा तो मैं कॉल बैक जरूर करता हूं. मेरे जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स हैं सबको मालूम है वैसे, तो आप मुझे कॉल करो. अभी क्लासेस खत्म हो जाएंगी तो आउट ऑफ टच नहीं होना है. हमने हमेशा टच में बने रहना है. आप लोगों ने हमसे बोर्ड ऑफ स्टडी से, और अपनी प्रोग्रेस बेशक आप मुझे बताओ कि सर हमारा इतना हमने कर लिए हैं चैप्टर, ऐसे कर रहे हैं हम, हमें ये डिफिकल्टीज आ रही हैं, सो दैट आपको सोल्यूशन देंगे. अभी भी हमारा पर्पस यही था स्टूडेंट्स, ये वाले जो लेक्चर्स हमने कंडक्ट किए हैं उसमें पर्पस यही था कि आपको ये सिखा दें कि तैयारी करनी कैसे है. जैसे सर अभी आपको सिखा रहे थे कि आप ऐसे डोंट गो आफ्टर आंसर्स. अभी जो सर ने बताया आपको, आप एक बार करना सीखो. जो सर का जो तरीका वो समझा रहे हैं आप उसको पिकअप करिए, ताकि आप जो काफी सारे केस सिनेरियो बुकलेट के अंदर 60 के आसपास केस सिनेरियोज हैं, तो आप उनको प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं. जैसे सर सिखा रहे हैं आप वैसे प्रैक्टिस करिए. तो ये सेशन आपको सिखाने के लिए है, आप तैयारी कैसे करो. फॉर एग्जांपल हमने उस दिन आपको ये सिखाया था कि आप केस कैसे हैंडल करें. आप एक एमसीक्यू के ऊपर हमने काफी टाइम लगाया था, ड्राइंग पावर वाला जो था, सीसी लिमिट का ऑपरेशन सर ने अच्छे से समझाया था आपको. तो आप करने का तरीका सीख लो, फिर चीजें आसान लगने लगेंगी. और आपने जैसे कर भी लिया तो स्टूडेंट्स 5 डेफिनेशन तो मैं अभी भी कह रहा हूं, आप जब भी करना शुरू कर दोगे तो आप लोगों को एक आफ्टर 10 डेज 50 का बैकअप हो जाएगा। आप ये इसका मल्टीप्लायर एक दिन में 5 इंपैक्ट नहीं करेंगे, लेकिन आफ्टर 10 डेज और 5 डेज इवन 25 का बैकअप हो जाता है आपका। 25 डेफिनेशन आपको टिप्स पे हो जाती है। और एक जो 5 का जो सेट बता रहा हूं मैं आपको, हर रोज 5 करने हैं, उसको एक दिन तक नहीं करना, उसको 3 दिन लगातार करना है। और 5 टाइम्स रीडिंग इज द बेस्ट स्ट्रेटजी। एक डेफिनेशन को एक बार करके हम नहीं उसे रिकॉल कर पाएंगे। 5 to 10 टाइम्स जिस दिन आप कर रहे हो, से आज डे 1 है उसको करने का, तो आप उसे कम से कम भी 10 टाइम्स रीड कर सकते हो, 10 टाइम्स तक। और
Sir,
इवन नाउ
Sankaran,
नेक्स्ट डे आल्सो
Sankaran
आप
is asking to translate in English.
ओके ओके
And Siva Ranjani is writing that she has
सर,
done
वट एवर
definition
आई
of.
हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड इन हिंदी, आप एक बार इंग्लिश में बता दो इनको सबको।
Has. Basically, Sankaran, what the sir is saying is that you should learn the definition and create a backup of the definitions and speed up the process and try to create linkages in your mind from one to another, hop on from one concept to another, and do not create boxes, silos in your mind. Just open it up and try to link one thing with another. And Sivaranjani, she is saying that she is hard of hearing. Can she message you, sir?
Hard of hearing?
Yes. She is
What?
saying that can she message you?
हाँ, definitely yes.
Yes, yes.
Definitely yes. I am available on WhatsApp on both the numbers. अगर वैसे तो आप कॉल कर सकते हैं, अगर आप हार्ड ऑफ हियरिंग है तो आप मुझे मैसेज करो, मैं आपको रिप्लाई दे दूंगा। वैसे मैं व्हाट्सएप पे थोड़ा बहुत ज्यादा सेविन, लेकिन मैं फिर भी अगर आप ये प्रॉब्लम है तो मैं जरूर आपको
Yes, Siva Ranjani sir is saying that you can message to him, and she has done definition of audit risk.
She has done?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. लेकिन but my advice to all of you is don't do one definition on a day. At least you should, if not 5, so minimum 3 definitions you should do on a particular day. And those 3 definitions you should do for continuous 3 days. You should practice continuously for 3 days. And 5 times reading is the best strategy to establish in your mind. This is about definition. And moreover, students, so many times I have been advising you that you should start with definition part, because this is because it creates ABC of auditing in your mind. And or in this subject, you start running after having a backup of say 50 definition. When you will have backup of 50 definitions in your mind, then you will start running in this subject. Walking nahi keh raha main, running. You will start running in this subject. Subject will automatically take a shape in your mind, and things will automatically come out of your mind when you will write in the examination. This is what I mean to say. And students, how to next जो address करना है हमें topic, वह how to attempt descriptive type of questions in the examination, because 4 marker questions are there, then 3 marker questions are there. There are, out of say 6 questions, question number 1 is compulsory, and from balance remaining 5 questions, a student is required to attempt 4 questions. And each question setup is like this, that 2 4 marker questions are there and 2 3 marker questions are. So questions आप उनको कैसे हैंडल करें एग्जाम में, वो अभी आशीष जी हम स्टार्ट कर देते हैं. Let us take one question.
Sir, we had done some questions on.
You had done?
Yes.
Okay, that's great, sir. That's great.
We had done on Saturday.
अगर आपने क्वेश्चंस, मैं आपको स्टूडेंट्स, सर ने आपको बताया क्वेश्चंस कैसे करने हैं, लेकिन मैं क्वेश्चंस के लिए आपको प्रैक्टिस का तरीका जरूर बताऊंगा. क्वेश्चंस को आप करके, जब आप फर्स्ट थिंग फर्स्ट है, आप क्वेश्चन को आप पूरे अच्छी तरह से पहला स्टेप आप लिख लोगे तो बहुत अच्छा रहेगा स्टूडेंट्स. वट एवर आई एम सेइंग, यू इन लास्ट लेक्चर आल्सो आई एडवाइज यू कि आप हमेशा यू हैव योर पेन एंड नोटबुक विद यू so that you can write brief notes about it. Step 1 is read the question very carefully. This is step 1. Very carefully understand what the question is demanding. Sometimes students are in hurry and they don't even try to see what the question is asking them to write. तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है स्टूडेंट्स. यहाँ पे भी हम देखते हैं कि स्टूडेंट्स पढ़ते ही नहीं अच्छी तरह से, और स्टूडेंट्स वहां पे रिक्वायरमेंट होती है, जो रिक्वायरमेंट आप पूरी करते ही नहीं हो कि उसका पार्ट आंसर आप लिख के आ जाते हो एग्जाम के अंदर. तो यू शुड स्टडी द क्वेश्चन केयरफुली. यू शुड स्टडी द क्वेश्चन केयरफुली एंड देन स्टार्ट राइटिंग द आंसर. एंड while you are preparing the questions, first you carefully go through the question and then think in, because आपने सारा समझ लिया अच्छी तरह से, think in your mind कि इसका आंसर क्या हो सकता है. इसका इस क्वेश्चन आंसर अभी मत देखो, जल्दी मत करो देखने की. think in your mind के that what its answer could be, उसका आंसर क्या हो सकता है. अपने माइंड में इमेजिनेशन करिए, फिर उसके बाद आप आंसर देखिए क्या उसी लाइन पे आंसर लिखा हुआ है जो आप सोच रहे थे और क्या डिफरेंस आए आपके. और फिर उसको कम से कम भी मैं स्टूडेंट्स आपको एडवाइज करूंगा उस क्वेश्चन उस आंसर को एक बार रीड नहीं करना आपने. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आई एम टेलिंग यू दैट रीड एटलीस्ट फॉर 5 to 7 times and please make it a point and note it down in your notebooks कि आप 5 to 7 times कम से कम उसकी प्रैक्टिस करें उस क्वेश्चन की, और 3 दिन तक फॉर कॉन्टिन्यूस 3 days. वैसे 5 days तक करें तो बहुत ही ज्यादा अच्छे रिजल्ट्स हैं. क्वेश्चन आपके माइंड में स्टैब्लिश हो जाएंगे, उसका जो आंसर्स हैं आपके माइंड में अच्छी तरह से स्टैब्लिश होंगे और आप एग्जाम में बहुत अच्छा लिख पाओगे. उसका रिजल्ट ये आएगा क्योंकि अब समझने का आपका प्रोसेस जो था, understanding process has got completed because you have attended all classes, understood all concepts in detail. Now that understanding part is, you are okay with that. Now subsequently, now what you should do is start practicing on questions. You should start practice on questions. At least my suggestion to all of you is do at least 7 to 10 questions on daily basis. 7 to 10 questions on daily basis. Questions, I mean, you can pick up the topics also. One topic is one question, you can say. It may be possible in one topic, there may be 3 questions also. But pick up the question, think in your mind ki this topic, how the question can be framed out of this topic. And आप जो points हैं उनको अच्छी तरह से carefully go through करिए. कम से कम 7 to 10 times डे 1 को रीड करें, फिर डे 2, डे 3, डे 4, डे 5 तक कर लीजिए. एक क्वेश्चन की प्रैक्टिस आप 5 दिन तक लगातार करिए. क्वेश्चन आपका, उसके पॉइंट्स भी आप कभी नहीं भूलेंगे और उसको एग्जाम में भी आप अच्छी तरह रिकॉल कर पाएंगे. तो स्टूडेंट्स, ये कुछ टेक्निक्स मैं आपको बता रहा हूं जो बहुत एग्जाम में पे करती हैं बहुत अच्छे तरीके से. आपके मार्क्स तो आपके पीछे भागना शुरू हो जाते हैं. बिलीव मी, आप मार्क्स के पीछे मत जाओ. मत स्टूडेंट्स कहते हैं कि ऑडिटिंग में मार्क्स कैसे आएंगे. मैं कहता हूं आप तैयारी तो कर लो. तैयारी करोगे, मार्क्स ऑटोमेटिकली आपके पीछे भागने शुरू हो जाएंगे. तो सर ने जैसे आपको कराया क्वेश्चन, तो मैं उन्हीं क्वेश्चंस को आप कम से कम प्रैक्टिस करो और उसी पैटर्न पे स्टूडेंट्स आप चैप्टर 1 से स्टार्ट हो जाइए. चैप्टर 1 के आप टारगेट कर लो कि चैप्टर 1 के 5 क्वेश्चन हमने करने हैं हर रोज. फिर 5, 10, 15, 20 क्वेश्चन होंगे. चैप्टर 1 आपका कंप्लीट हो जाएगा. फिर टेकअप चैप्टर 2, 3 एंड सो ऑन. यस सर, यू वांट टू ऐड समथिंग?
This you have sir summarized everything, so I don't think there is much to add. Rather, there are few
आज
important things which few important concepts which, if you permit, I would like students, I would like them to understand. Like basically, I want to tell them again about audit risk and its components. So, would it be okay?
Yes, sir. It is a typical topic sort of thing. So I think it would be very much beneficial for the students. If you, in particular, sir, I will request you to make them understand about inherent risk and control risk, which is very a tricky topic, I should say.
Yes, I would take up all the things, audit
Okay.
risk and all the components,
Yes, sir.
including inherent risk and control risk.
Great,
And
sir.
I'll try to explain by taking some example.
और स्टूडेंट्स जो
So
सर अभी मैं एक मिनट सर और ले रहा हूँ सर इसमें। और स्टूडेंट्स जो आज सर करा रहे हैं आपको, एक और बहुत बड़ा पॉइंट होता है, अभी तो क्लासेस आपकी काफी हो गई हैं, सारी खत्म हो गई हैं, आप उनको बिकॉज रिकॉर्डेड लेक्चर्स हो जाते हैं तो आप उनको यूट्यूब पे जाकर दोबारा भी देख सकते हो ऐसे फिर। तो आप जब जिस दिन जो काम आज जो सर आपको करा रहे हैं उसको आज ही कर लो, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट होता है। डू इट टुडे इटसेल्फ। आप पुट ऑफ करते हो कि कल कर लेंगे, ये वो बहुत बैड है। आप उसी दिन करोगे उसके रिजल्ट 10 गुना है। वो बहुत तेजी बहुत स्पीड से आपके माइंड में जाके स्टेब्लिश हो जाता है। तो स्टूडेंट्स आप लोग मेरे से पूछ रहे थे, जैसे लास्ट लेक्चर में भी कुछ लोगों ने पूछा टाइम मैनेजमेंट कैसे करें, तो टाइम मैनेजमेंट का बहुत बड़ा पार्ट है ये ध्यान रखना। अगर मैं आज ही उस टॉपिक को कर रहा हूं तो मेरा टाइम सेव हो रहा है, मेरे माइंड में जल्दी स्टेब्लिश हो रहा है जाके। तो आप कोशिश करो उसी दिन ही करने की, वो आपके माइंड में अच्छे तरीके से स्टेब्लिश होएगा जाके। यस यस, थैंक यू सर।
so students, all of you are quite familiar with this topic of audit risk in chapter 4, but I would again try to explain to you, because this is a common topic where students are stuck up and they commit mistakes while answering application based questions relating to this topic. So students, are you ready? So we shall also try to do some important clauses of Caro 2020 as was the request of Bhumika, probably, I think. So guys, audit risk. So students, audit risk, basically what is the name? So forget about the definition part and all the things. Yes, Siva Ranjani, you please, you practice more and your fear would be gone. Yes, Siva Ranjani, as sir has been advising you, practice more and your fear would be gone as the time passes. So audit risk, what I told you, what is risk? Risk is something adverse, possibility of something adverse. So risk is always you have to remember, risk is always a possibility of something adverse happening. If something happens, then it doesn't remain a risk. So it means at that stage, risk has materialized. What was the probability? What was the possibility? What was the probability? What was the possibility of happening adverse? Now it has translated into actuals. Okay. So I have been telling you that there is risk in every situation. There are various type of risks, like business risks are there. There are finance risks. You go on a road, there is safety risk. There is health risk. Similarly, in profession of auditing, there is a term which is called as audit risk. So what is risk? So I will first try to answer it that way. What is the objective of an auditor? Objective of an auditor is to give an opinion, to obtain reasonable assurance, and to give an opinion that financial statements are free from material misstatements. Okay. So when he gives opinion, so he wants to be sure that he is not giving an inappropriate opinion. He is not giving an incorrect opinion. So it might so happen that he may give an inappropriate opinion. So you have to understand that this audit risk. So what is audit risk? Risk of expressing an inappropriate opinion when financial statements are materially misstated. Say when there are misstatements in the financial statements, but the auditor gives the opinion that there are no misstatements, that financial statements give a true and fair view. So this is known as audit risk. Risk of expressing an inappropriate opinion. Risk of expressing an inappropriate opinion. Okay. So students, you have to remember 2 points, 2 key points here, that audit risk is always there. Always there in every audit. You have to remember that audit risk is always there in every audit. It is not specific to one audit, because some risk would always be there. Why? Why it is so? Why it is so, students? Because we know that audit is not foolproof. Audit is not foolproof. Why it is not foolproof? Because of the inbuilt limitations. Because of the inbuilt limitations of the audit. Because of the inherent limitations of the audit. Okay. Clear? So audit risk is the probability that the auditor gives an inappropriate opinion when financial statements are materially misstated. This is the definition. Okay. Audit risk is present in every situation. In every audit situation, it is present. It is not specific to one audit. It cannot be reduced to zero. It can be lowered only. So what a prudent auditor, what an experienced auditor would want. Say if I am auditor of a company, what I would be want? What would be my heartfelt requirement? As an auditor, say as an auditor, what would be my heartfelt requirement, my heartfelt wish? As an auditor, what should be my wish? My wish would be to reduce the audit risk to a low level. Why this should be my wish? Yes. Why this should be my wish? This should be my wish because I would like to keep my risk. I would like to keep the probability of me expressing an inappropriate opinion to be low. Okay. Therefore, I would be keeping audit risk. I would try to keep audit risk at low level. It is endeavor of every auditor to keep audit risk at reasonably low level. Clear, students? Is that clear? Now, for the sake of studying audit risk, theoretically, we have constructed a model, okay, saying that audit risk consists of three things, three components or three things. What are those three components? These three components are inherent risk, control risk, and detection risk. Okay. Now, what is inherent risk and what is control risk? So before we go to understand what is the meaning of these risks, you have also to remember, students, that these both risks, inherent risk and control risk, these risks belong to the client, to the company, to the entity. These are not auditor's risks. So you would say, when it is component of auditor's risk, then how it cannot be the part of auditor's risks? So we mean to say that these risks cannot be influenced by the auditor. He has no control over these risks because these belong to the company. Like, say, what type of transactions a company is entering into. Say if company is in such a business that it is conducting cash sales, then would inherent risk would be low or would inherent risk be more? Yes, students. Because you know that cash transactions do not leave any trail. So bogus sales can be booked, or sales in fact which have been made, these can be omitted to be recorded because there is no evidence. Why? Because because sales are being made in cash. So we say that cash transactions are always inherently risky. Okay. And say a company is in a kind of business in which many companies are not generating much profits. Many companies are making losses, and you are auditor of one such company. Okay, so let us assume that it is a startup type of thing, and that business model has still not established. Okay, so what would be the inherent risk? Inherent risk would be greater in such kind of business. So can auditor do something about it? No, because why he can't do? Because this is the company's risk. This is the entity's risk.
A great explanation about the definition, about the inherent risk, sir. Sir, my suggestion to you is, आप सर इसी स्टेज पे इनको इनहेरेंट डेफिनेशन इनहेरेंट रिस्क की डेफिनेशन के साथ लिंक करके उसको लर्न ही करा दो, बिकॉज हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव भी अचीव हो जाएगा। हम स्टूडेंट्स को एक्चुअली क्या है, प्रैक्टिस इसकी जरूरी है। अब इनहेरेंट रिस्क की डेफिनेशन जो बहुत अच्छा आपने भी समझाया है स्टूडेंट्स को, तो उन तो कुछ तो यहां से लेके जाएंगे वो एटलीस्ट। अगर स्टूडेंट्स मैं आपको जो कॉन्टिन्यूसली एडवाइस कर रहा हूं, आपने समझ लिया, समझ वाला पार्ट बहुत अच्छा हो गया, बट क्या आप एग्जाम में लिख पाएंगे? माई आंसर इज नो। आप नहीं लिख पाओगे एग्जाम में इस समझ के भी बहुत, बिकॉज एग्जाम के अंदर आपको डेफिनेशन इनहेरेंट रिस्क की, कंट्रोल रिस्क की, आपको एमसीक्यूज में पूछ सकता है, आपको करेक्ट इनकरेक्ट में पूछ सकता है, ठीक है, आपको डिस्क्रिप्टिव में पूछ सकता है, 3 मार्कर में पूछ सकता है। तो आपको ये ध्यान रखना है ये कि कुछ बैकअप बनाने के लिए मैंने जैसे समझाया था आपको, तो सर अभी आपको समझाएंगे कैसे आप इसको इसकी प्रैक्टिस करो कम से कम 5 to 10 टाइम्स। अभी आपकी प्रैक्टिस कराएंगे, देखो अभी आप ये साथ लेके जाओगे, आप आज आपको याद रहेगी ये डेफिनेशन। यस सर।
Yes. So you have understood what we mean by inherent risk.
ग्रेट एक्सप्लेनेशन सर, ग्रेट एक्सप्लेनेशन।
Okay. So now sir wants me to explain to you the exact definition of inherent risk and to make you learn
yes
his
yes
definition of inherent risk, which is there in your module.
yes 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 sir, I advise every student कि आप अपना मॉड्यूल जो है जहां पे इनहेरेंट रिस्क चैप्टर 3 के अंदर लिखा हुआ, आप वो डेफिनेशन अपने सामने रखें।
So students, you can open your chapter 4, page 4.2. You can open your chapter 4, page 4.2. Yes, guys, you can open the file. You can open chapter 4, page 4.2, where definition of inherent risk is there.
आप उसको और अभी 5 टाइम्स रीड करिए उसे, सर के साथ साथ आप रीड करोगे। और सर एक्सप्लेन करेंगे आपको कि कैसे आप अभी लिंकेज करके, जो एग्जांपल सर दे रहे थे, आप कैसे उसको लिंकेज करके आप उसे लर्न कर सकते हैं। जैसे अभी सर ने बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट बताया था कि दिस इज नॉट इन द कंट्रोल ऑफ द ऑडिटर। ऑडिटर का तो इस पे कंट्रोल है ही नहीं।
So yes, guys, have you opened the chapter 4, 4.2 page? So the definition of inherent risk is, it is the susceptibility of an assertion about what? About a class of transactions account balances, disclosure to a misstatement that could be material. So guys, I am writing some words in short, so do not say कि सर को इंग्लिश नहीं आती है. That could be material either individually or when aggregated with other misstatements, or when aggregated before consideration of any controls. So ye students, I have broken up this definition to many parts. So one thing you have to remember is that inherent risk, when we say inherent risk, we are at the stage before considering any internal control of the company. We are understanding raw nature of transactions. So what is inherent risk? Just a raw risk. Raw risk, you can say in a layman's language, you can say it is a sort of raw risk. Like say I give you another example. Raw, you understand? Say you have prepared a file, you have prepared a music video. Okay. So it is a raw video. Now, if you edit it, if you apply some controls, then it becomes sort of finished. So here we are considering inherent risk. In inherent risk, we are considering transactions in their raw nature as they happen before the company, before considering the controls which have been formulated by the company, by the entity in this regard. Okay, so this is a very important point.
अब
That is that. Yes.
स्टूडेंट्स, अब जब इनहेरेंट रिस्क एग्जाम में किसी भी फॉर्म में आएगा, जैसे मैं आपको बता रहा था, इट कैन अपीयर इन एमसीक्यू, इट कैन अपीयर इन योर करेक्ट इनकरेक्ट सॉर्ट ऑफ क्वेश्चन, इट कैन अपीयर इन केस सिनेरियो टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन, इट कैन अपीयर इन डिस्क्रिप्टिव टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन, करेक्ट इनकरेक्ट टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन. किसी भी फॉर्म में आपको साथ साथ ये थॉट प्रोसेस भी रखना है. और आपको इसमें इंपॉर्टेंट जो सर ने बताया अभी कि बिफोर एनी कंट्रोल्स, अब आपके माइंड में ये फिट हो जाना चाहिए. बिफोर एनी कंट्रोल्स, लास्ट के जो वर्ड हैं ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है और इसको आप अपने माइंड में अच्छी तरह से फिट करोगे. बिफोर एनी कंट्रोल्स. Yes, sir.
What usually happens is, say this definition is of 4 lines. So by the time a student tries to learn this definition, he only remembers susceptibility, assertions, misstatement. Okay. Bas. And by the time he comes to control, he is finished.
Yes. और सर एक और मैं इसमें ऐड करना चाहूंगा सर, ये डेफिनेशन को समझना भी आसान नहीं है और फिर लर्न करना भी, इसकी प्रैक्टिस करना भी बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है. और अगर आप स्टूडेंट्स, और ऐसे टॉपिक पे जो एक ट्रिकी टॉपिक है ये, आप स्टूडेंट्स इस पे कम से कम 10-15 मिनट जैसे कि हम आपको करा रहे हैं ऐसे ही करो. आप प्रैक्टिस भी इसकी ऐसे ही करो. ऐसा नहीं कि जल्दबाजी में आपने लाइन पढ़ी चलो हो गई ये, तो ऐसा मत करो, ऐसा ब्लंडर होएगा आपके साथ. आप इसको 5 to 7 टाइम जैसे कि अभी सर करा रहे हैं, बिफोर एनी कंट्रोल्स, बिफोर एनी कंट्रोल्स, बिफोर एनी, ये माइंड में अच्छी तरह सेट होएगा आपके.
So what is risk? Inherent risk is the susceptibility of an assertion. So what is susceptibility? Susceptibility means sensitivity. Sensitivity means that when something is more prone to something. When I say that Mr. X, he is susceptible to cold. He is susceptible to falling ill. So it means that he is prone to falling ill. He is prone to catching illness. So sensitivity means, susceptibility means sensitivity of something. That something is more susceptible to some factor. Okay, like now we can say that say petrol is susceptible to catching fire. So you light a matchbox, petrol would catch fire. It is highly susceptible. So susceptible is sensitivity, susceptibility of an assertion. Assertion, I had already told you on Saturday in detailed manner that everything in financial statements is an assertion. Whatever is written in financial statement is an assertion in some way or another. Either it would be express assertion or it would be implied assertion. If it is written building value is this is also an assertion. That company is saying that WDV of my building is so much. And what is implied assertion? Assertion that management wants to say that the building was in fact used for the business of the company. So it means that sensitivity of anything which is stated in financial statements, which we call as assertion about assertion. Yes.
Can we say cash is cash? What
yes.
Can we say about cash?
Yes, when we say about cash, when in balance sheet of a company cash is reflected for 50,000, it means that in fact cash was available on that day. That physical cash was available on that day. It was not a book entry, and cash was available for use for the business of the company. It is an implied assertion. Okay, so everything which is there in the financial statements is an assertion of some sort or another. So do not get do not create a fear in your minds about assertion. Assertion, मैं कुछ बोल रहा हूं तो I am asserting something. I am giving some belief. It is, I am asserting something. It is my assertion. Now Rajiv sir is giving a statement. He is asserting something. Why? Because it is their belief. So management believes so many things in the financial statements, that is they are asserting. So as simple as that. Common sense concepts layered in auditing language. Okay. So sensitivity of an assertion, and we know that assertion can relate to three things. About assertions could be about transactions, like which are happening in profit and loss account, relating to profit and loss account, like sales, purchases, expenses. These are all transactions. About account balances, about outstandings, about receivables, about inventories, about payables. These are all account balances. Or about disclosures, whatever is disclosed in the notes in the accounts. So these are all the three things. ये तीन चीजें फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में हो सकती हैं. तो ये तीनों वर्ड्स भी आपको याद रखने हैं. ये हर एक जगह आपके फिट होते हैं, कई जगह फिट होते हैं ये वर्ड्स.
ये स्टेटमेंट में भी होते हैं.
यस. सो assertions are about three things. These are about class of transactions, about account balances, and about disclosures. So susceptibility or sensitivity. So you are not going to write sensitivity in the exam because the key word is susceptibility.
अब ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात हो गई स्टूडेंट्स.
You would write susceptibility, sensitivity. I am explaining it to you.
अब ये इसको यहीं से आप इसको पिकअप करिए. ससेप्टिबिलिटी ऑफ एन assertion अबाउट ए क्लास ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शन, अकाउंट बैलेंस, डिस्क्लोज. अभी पहले फर्स्ट पार्ट में आप ये दो लाइन, इसको ये एक ही लाइन बनेगी वैसे तो आप इसको लास्ट में आपको लाइन पहले करवा, बिफोर एनी कंट्रोल, ससेप्टिबिलिटी ऑफ एन assertion अबाउट ए क्लास ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शन, अकाउंट बैलेंस, डिस्क्लोजर. यहां तक इसको 5 टाइम्स आप रीड करो पहले. यहां तक पार्ट्स में आप करो. जब भी लंबी डेफिनेशन है उसको समझ भी लो और साथ साथ उसे 5 टाइम्स रीडिंग की हैबिट बनाओ, तभी हैबिट बनेगी आपकी. ससेप्टिबिलिटी ऑफ एन assertion अबाउट ए क्लास ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शन, अकाउंट बैलेंस, डिस्क्लोजर. 3 बार आप देख के बोलो, 2 बार आप बिना देखे ट्राई कर सकते हो. तो ये हैबिट्स हैं, धीरे धीरे बनेंगी. ये मैं बता रहा हूं आपको. आप इनकी भी प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ती है. किताब के सामने तो आपको बैठना ही पड़ेगा, बुक के सामने. So that also requires practice. तो हर चीज प्रैक्टिस है स्टूडेंट्स. आप प्रैक्टिस करोगे क्योंकि बिकॉज अभी एक स्टेज आपकी कंप्लीट हुई है जो अब आपने लेक्चर सारे अटेंड कर लिए. एंड आई एम श्योर अबाउट ईच एंड एवरी स्टूडेंट्स, बहुत थोड़े स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिन्होंने तैयारी भी शुरू करी है साथ. और तैयारी जब मैं पहले लेक्चर में आया था, जब सबसे पहली बार मैंने, इट इज अबाउट 1.5 month बैक और सो, तब मैंने आपको ये अभी तक अगर जो स्टूडेंट्स ने करी हैं तो मे बी वो 70-75 डेफिनेशन मिनिमम क्रॉस हो गए होंगे, 100 मतलब तक पहुंच गए होंगे. और उनका लाइक ABC चल रही होंगी डेफिनेशंस. और फिर आगे क्वेश्चंस ऑटोमेटिकली, क्योंकि डेफिनेशन जो है क्वेश्चंस के अंदर आती हैं, तो फिर क्वेश्चंस भी फास्ट चलने शुरू. अभी आप ये डेफिनेशन करोगे ना, जब इसको माइंड में आपके इस्टेब्लिश हो जाएगी, तो फिर आपके क्वेश्चंस इससे रिलेटेड बड़े फास्ट चलेंगे. आप देखना, खुद ही देखना. यस सर.
So susceptibility of an assertion about a class of transaction, account balance or disclosure to what? To misstatement. That could be material either individually or when aggregated with others. So what does it say? That inherent risk is the susceptibility or the sensitivity of an assertion that it might fall prey to a misstatement. Okay, that what is stated in the what the management believes, it could be untrue, it could be misstated. Okay, before consideration of any controls. Okay, so again I am repeating this definition. Inherent risk is the susceptibility of an assertion about a class of transactions, account balance, or disclosures to a misstatement that could be material either individually or when aggregated with others.
Misstatements.
When aggregated with other misstatements before consideration of any controls. So this is the complete definition of inherent risk.
ग्रेट सर, मेरा ही प्रैक्टिस करने का मन कराया सर इसको. इतना मजा आया स्टूडेंट्स रियली कि मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि मैं ही प्रैक्टिस कर. तो मेरे को अगर आप 5 टाइम्स इसे रीड करोगे आपको बहुत अच्छा लगेगा. और फिर आप बिना देखे इसे बोलने की प्रैक्टिस करो. अभी करो ना, राइट अवे करो. अभी हर एक स्टूडेंट से मैं
yes student, sir is asking you sir is asking all of you to remember this definition right now.
yes 5 टाइम्स आप रीड करो स्टूडेंट्स. अच्छी तरह से आपने समझी है. सर ने बहुत अच्छे से एग्जांपल से. फिर एक बार और मैं रीड कर देता हूं. सर ने पहले भी मैंने 2 बार रीड किया है. अभी मैं दोबारा, सर ने 2 बार आपको समझाया रीड करके. एक बार मैं भी आपको बोल देता हूं. susceptibility, inherent risk refers to susceptibility of an assertion about a class of transaction, account balance or disclosure to a misstatement. to a misstatement, यहाँ पे ये लिंकिंग है to a misstatement, क्योंकि यहां तक अगर आप पहुंच गए तो आपके माइंड में misstatement है. किससे? susceptibility किससे है? लिंकेज बनाओ. जब susceptibility है to a misstatement of what? of an assertion about class of transaction, account balance, disclosure. तो यहां से मेरा लिंकेज भी बन रहा है. आप देखो, टू ए मिस स्टेटमेंट. अब मिस स्टेटमेंट जब मैं कहूंगा मिस स्टेटमेंट, दैट कुड बी मटेरियल मिस स्टेटमेंट, मटेरियल मिस स्टेटमेंट, तो मटेरियल मेरे दिमाग में आएगा. और मिस स्टेटमेंट, मटेरियल मिस स्टेटमेंट या तो इंडिविजुअली भी हो सकती है या एग्रीगेटेड भी हो सकती है. इधर इंडिविजुअली और व्हेन एग्रीगेटेड, ये दोनों में आती है. कंट्रोल रिस्क की आप डेफिनेशन करोगे वहां भी. एक बार आप इसको माइंड में बिठाओगे, 2 जगह आपको फायदा होने वाला है इसका. कंट्रोल रिस्क में अभी आप पढ़ोगे, वहां भी फायदा होगा. और बिफोर एनी कंसिडरेशन ऑफ कंट्रोल, तो आपको सर ने पहले ही समझा दिया था. तो इस तरह से स्टूडेंट्स आप इसकी 5 बार प्रैक्टिस करो और अभी आप अपना फीडबैक दो. क्या आप इसे रिकॉल कर पा रहे हैं?
Yes student, sir is asking from you feedback whether you are able to learn the definition right now.
राइट अवे, बिकॉज तभी फायदा है ना इसका. बिकॉज ये मैं चाहता यही हूं कि स्टूडेंट्स को तैयारी करने का तरीका आ जाए.
So look, sir is wanting you to put the train on the track.
yes
Once you are on track, then you would move in automated mode yourself. Yes. So he is wanting you to put the train on the track. So whether you have been put on the track or not.
Yes sir, have feedback from students sir. क्या वो लर्न कर पा रहे हैं?
Yes, only one mail has come, Bhumika. She is saying that I have done.
She has done very great, Bhumika. That's yes, great.
Darshan is also saying.
He has done?
Yes, Komal and Sankaran.
Great, Darshan.
And Sankaran is saying understood, will be able to do after some more times.
No. Why more time? What is his name?
Sankaran.
Sankaran.
South India.
Sankaran?
He is from South India.
Okay, Sankaran, on my advice, I request you to read 5 times more and then come back again. 5 times read, 5 times more and then come back again. Whether you, please do it right away. I advise each and every student, and it is my request to you also, to read 5 times to 10 times and see the results thereafter. आप अपने सामने, मैं ये नहीं कि आपको कोई बात कह के और चला गया, मैं तो कह रहा हूं कि मेरे साथ ही आप करो प्रैक्टिस और आपको बहुत अच्छा लगने वाला है. ये रिजल्ट्स, इसके रिजल्ट्स बहुत अच्छे हैं और एंजॉय करा करो ये डेफिनेशंस जो होती है ना इसको, बिकॉज दिस इज द एबीसी ऑफ ऑडिटिंग. यस Sankaran, आर यू डूइंग?
Yes, he is writing. Sure
okay sir. Okay, we will have your feedback right away.
Okay.
First read 5 times. Yes, other
Yes.
students are coming up, sir.
Yes, they have done. They have done. They are writing. They have done.
Okay. Bhumika has done. Then another student. Number two.
Bhumika and Darshan.
Darshan has done.
Yes, and Siva Ranjani,
Yes, great, great,
Komal
great, great, Komal.
Singh, Rajiv Kumar,
Superb,
Sushil Kumar Barik.
great. All have done.
Yes, Shubham Khopade is writing. Ask me anytime after 5-10 years. I am going to say word to word.
क्या बात है, क्या बात है,
Thanks for
मजा आ
your
गया सुन
efforts.
के. Great, great, sir. This is what I. Shubham बोल रहा
Yes, Shubham. He is from Western India.
Okay, okay. Shubham, that's great of you, and I should say आप एक ये तरीका समझ लो, ये तरीका समझ लो, उसकी हर रोज प्रैक्टिस करो, प्रैक्टिस इट ऑन डेली बेसिस. आप तरीका समझ के इसकी प्रैक्टिस करो. ये नहीं कि अब आज करके और कल आप नहीं करोगे तो फिर वो आपको रियल एडवांटेज जो मिलना चाहिए वो नहीं मिलेगा.
Yes, sir. Shall we move to control risk?
नहीं, शंकरन का फीडबैक सर आने दो एक मिनट.
Sankaran sir is waiting for you. Do not keep us held up. Sankaran, tell us whether you are remembering, whether you have remembered or not. Sankaran, yes.
कोई भी स्टूडेंट नहीं छूटना चाहिए.
Everybody is waiting for you.
हाँ.
Now, sir is very particular about you and rather for every student.
यस, कोई भी स्टूडेंट नहीं छूटना चाहिए जो यहाँ से ये इनहेरेंट रिस्क की डेफिनेशन घर नहीं लेके जाएगा, साथ माइंड में लेके जानी है.
So against guys, susceptibility of an assertion about those things, class of transaction, account balances and disclosure to what? To a misstatement which is material either individually or when aggregated with other misstatements before consideration of any controls. Simple. Sankaran is saying yes, 5 times revised.
So he is okay with this?
Yes, yes.
Okay. You can move ahead, sir.
So now we come to control risk. So guys, first understanding part and then we shall come to definition. So what is control risk? So you have read about internal controls, guys. आपको पता है, no company can run without internal controls. Every company has to have some system, some procedures by which business is conducted. Without having in place such a framework of system and procedures to conduct the business, no business can survive. These are in fact required by the company itself for efficient and effective conduct of its business. Okay. So like in case of auditing, we also know in case of internal control that internal controls are also not foolproof. These are not foolproof. Why? Because of limitations, because of their inbuilt limitations, like controls may be bypassed. Some people may collude who are responsible for implementing a particular control. They may collude. Okay. Or it could be possible that people who are supposed to follow a particular procedure, they understand that procedure wrongly. Inability to understand the procedure, or there could be judgmental errors, genuine judgmental errors. So therefore control systems of an organization are not always foolproof. These are not perfect because of inherent limitations of internal control. Okay. So basically there is a risk of failure of controls. There is a risk that if there is some misstatement that will not be detected by the controls, or controls would not be able to prevent such a wrong thing from happening. So this is what control risk is all about. So again, what I told you at the beginning, can auditor have any control about it? So this is part of the company, na? This is the part of the entity, any internal control system. What the auditor can do about it? He can only evaluate. He can only evaluate, but he is not going to fix the controls, the loose parts of control with some sort of screw. He can't do. Okay. So this risk, control risk, is always of an entity, is always of a company, is always of a concern. Okay, it can't be influenced by the auditor. So clear, guys? You understood the meaning of control risk? Understanding part is clear. Now we come to the definition. Now, what is the definition in control risk? At page 4.2 of your module. Again, below inherent risk. It says that control risk is the risk that a misstatement could occur in what? In an assertion. Again, same three words. In an assertion relating, जो हमने inherent risk में किया था. In an assertion relating to what? Relating to class of transaction, relating to account balances or disclosure.
अब आप देख लो स्टूडेंट्स कि आपको वो जो लर्न किया आपने पहले, जो माइंड में आपने एस्टेब्लिश किया है, वो यहां पर भी आपको काम आ रहा है. और स्टूडेंट्स एक बात ध्यान रखना, जो आप आज कर रहे हो 3 डेज तक कॉन्टिन्यूस प्रैक्टिस करो. वैसे मैं 5 डेज कहता हूं, चलो आप अगर कम इसको कोई करना चाहते हो 5 डेज करो तो बहुत ही अच्छा है, लेकिन 3 डेज तो मिनिमम है. कॉन्टिन्यूस 3 डेज तक इसकी 5 टाइम्स रीडिंग करनी है आपने, और 3 डेज बाद आप चाह के भी नहीं भूलोगे, मैं आपको गारंटी करता हूं. 5 दिन बाद तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं भूलोगे, 3 डेज बाद भी आपकी वो सिचुएशन आ जाएगी. आप देखना, फिर आप और एंजॉयमेंट होना शुरू हो जाएगा इसका, डेफिनेशंस का. अब देखो, आपने जो पहले आपने किया था, अभी 10 मिनट का आप रिजल्ट देख सकते हो, 10-15 मिनट हुए हैं, उसका रिजल्ट आपको अभी नजर आने लग रहा है, नजर आ रहा है क्या? कि कंट्रोल रिस्क की डेफिनेशन में वो सारी चीजें आ रही हैं जो आपने पहले, अब एक विदाउट हैविंग एनी प्रेशर ऑन योर माइंड आपको आपके माइंड में जा रहा है. यस सर.
So control risk is a risk that misstatement could occur about in an assertion about a, again the same thing, about a class of transactions, about account balances, about disclosures. 3 things. Okay. That could be material, again the same line. That could be material either individually or in aggregate. So jahan bhi students, wherever the material is used, this line is typical. So wherever material is used, it is always written either individually, whether or that thing is individually material or combined with others. So this is also a key type of phrase. So whenever you are going to write, aankhein band karke you can write materially, whether it is material individually or in aggregate with others. Okay. So risk that misstatement could occur in an assertion relating to transaction, account balances or disclosure, that could be material. Okay, whether individually or in aggregate. What is the risk? Now here, what is the risk? Risk that this misstatement would not be prevented. will not be prevented or detected and corrected. So there are two parts. So the probability, the chance, the risk that misstatement will not be prevented or detected and corrected, or if misstatement happens, it is not detected and corrected. Because you know that every control system should have two objectives. Either it should be able to prevent the misstatements at the first stage. Okay, if it is not able to prevent, then at least detect and correct. कि अगर मैं say, I give you an example from real life. If I am not able to prevent some crime, if police is not able to prevent some crime, then at least it should do its law and order duties. It should at least detect and bring to the justice the person who committed the crime. So clear? So there are two twin objectives of a control system. One is prevention of control and another is detection and correction. Okay. So the probability, the chance that a misstatement of this, which could be material, will not be prevented or detected and corrected on a timely basis by company's control system, by company's internal control. Okay, so basically it says that the risk, the chance that internal controls of the system would not be able to prevent and detect or correct material misstatements from happening in financial statements. Okay, so when we say that the control system of a company is efficient, it is effective, then we know that control risk is low. And when we say that control systems of a company are inefficient, these are not working properly, then auditor would assess control risk to be high. Why? Because controls would not be operating satisfactorily. Okay, so is it clear to you guys?
सर
Yes.
इसकी भी प्रैक्टिस करा दो स्टूडेंट्स को दो, ताकि आज के लेक्चर से ये दो चीजें तो अपने साथ लेके जाएंगे.
Yes.
एक तो
So
इनहेरेंट रिस्क और पेज नंबर मॉड्यूल का सर
4.2 and 4.3.
4.23 दोनों पे रन कर रही है डेफिनेशन. The risk that a misstatement that could occur in an assertion about a class of transaction, account balance or disclosure, and that could be material, either individually or when aggregated with other misstatements, will not be prevented or detected and corrected. सर ने देखो इसका भी मीनिंग आपको समझाया. Detected and corrected, prevented on a timely basis by the entity's internal control. So students, इसकी 5 times आप 5 to 10 times भी आप कर सकते हैं, लेकिन ये 5 times से हो जाएगा, I assure you, because इसमें 70% कंटेंट तो इनहेरेंट रिस्क वाला है. तो स्टूडेंट्स 5 times रीड करो एंड देन कम बैक टू अस कि आप क्या इसे रिकॉल अपने आप बिना देखे कर पा रहे हैं. सर है फीडबैक फ्रॉम स्टूडेंट सर.
Yes, sir.
Sir, have feedback from students?
Yes, students, go through this definition at page 4.2, 4.3 and just revert back, give your feedback whether you are able to remember it or not.
हाँ, और 3 days तक आपको करना है कंटिन्यूसली. और स्टूडेंट्स आप ये दो आज देखो, आज जो स्टूडेंट्स आज भी शुरू कर लें तो 2 डेफिनेशन तो आज आपके हो गए, आप 3 और आज कर लेना. और टफ वाले डेफिनेशन आपको करा दी सर ने आज. इनहेरेंट रिस्क और कंट्रोल रिस्क दोनों टफ डेफिनेशन है, इजी नहीं है ये.
Yes, students, send your mails, guys. Have you been able to learn this definition, control risk? Yes, students. Yes, guys. Have you been able to do this definition of control risk? Sir is asking. Yes, only two males, Komal and Sanchit.
Yes, great Komal, good Sanchit. What about others?
No male has come. Yes, what about others? Bhumika, Darshan, Sankaran, Shubham, Singh, Rajiv Kumar, Varsha. Yes, send your mails.
और रीड कर लो 5 times कम से कम.
Yes, they are saying that they have done or in the process of doing, they have done.
Okay, okay.
So, okay, guys.
तो ये स्टूडेंट्स जो अभी आप प्रोसेस हुआ है लास्ट हाफ एन आवर में और सो, ये प्रोसेस आपको करना है. आपकी तैयारी स्टेप बाय स्टेप रोज आप अगर आप 4 आवर्स इस पे लगाओगे तो आपकी तैयारी किस लेवल पे पहुंचने वाली है. मार्क्स विल फॉलो, आई एश्योर यू. और आप मुझे अपना फीडबैक, मैं फोन नंबर अपने शेयर कर रहा हूं, आप देते रहना. प्लीज कीप मी कॉलिंग. आप कॉलिंग मुझे करते रहो फोन पे. मैं दोनों नंबर अपने शेयर कर देता हूं. सर मेरे नंबर स्क्रीन पे आप शेयर कर देना.
Yes, sir,
97
number again I am sharing. These are the numbers 97180361119 and second number is 9466789298.
ये स्टूडेंट्स आप कभी भी कॉल कर सकते हो. दोनों नंबर सर ने मेरे शेयर कर दिए हैं. और आप अपनी तैयारी का फीडबैक मुझे बताने के लिए फोन कर कि सर हमारी तैयारी इस तरह से जैसे मैंने सिखाई है, अगर आप फॉलो करोगे स्टूडेंट्स, मार्क्स विल फॉलो, आई एश्योर यू. ऑडिटिंग में आपको पास होने की चिंता नहीं रहेगी, आपको मार्क्स लेने की चिंता रहेगी कि कितने 60 प्लस जाना है मेरे. आप तैयारी का लेवल अपना बढ़ाओ, मार्क्स विल फॉलो, आई एश्योर यू. तो आप कॉन्फिडेंस ऑटोमेटिकली आएगा जब आप तैयारी इस पैटर्न पे करेंगे. तो स्टूडेंट्स आप मुझे अपनी तैयारी का कि कहाँ पे आप किस प्रोसेस पे, बिकॉज कुछ नेम्स तो मुझे याद हो गए हैं, जैसे सर ने बार बार रिपीट, भूमिका है और शंकरन है और दर्शन है और एंड अदर स्टूडेंट्स आर देयर, शुभम है. तो स्टूडेंट्स आप मुझे कॉल करो और अपनी तैयारी का पूरा अकाउंट दो, सो दैट आपको उसमें कुछ ऐड करना है मुझे या कुछ आपको समझाना है तो मैं आपको समझा पाऊंगा, और आपकी कोई क्वेरी है तो वो भी हैंडल कर पाऊंगा.
Yes, Sanchit, you can make short notes. So, guys, I think the both things are clear to you: inherent risk and control risk. And we also know that by now we know that these are not influenced by auditor. These are entities risk, and these inherent risk and control risk, these together are known as risks of material misstatement. Now, why guys, why these are known as risks of material misstatement? Material whose financial statement would be materially misstated? Of entities. Auditor तो बाद में आएगा ना. So that is why this is known as risk of material misstatement. किसकी फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स misstated होने वाली हैं? That of entities. So this is known as, the combined risk is known as risk of material misstatement, and it is derived from one factor contributing to it is inherent risk, and another factor contributing to it is control risk. And both the factors together, these are known as risk of material misstatement. Okay, and thereafter auditor comes into picture. Okay, now we have understood risks.
सर ने बिल्कुल, देखो अभी इसको यहाँ डेफिनेशन से मैं लिंक करता हूँ जो सर ने बात बोली. देखो, रिस्क ऑफ मटेरियल मिसस्टेटमेंट ये भी डिफाइंड है. रिस्क ऑफ मटेरियल मिसस्टेटमेंट मे बी डिफाइंड एज द रिस्क दैट द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स आर मटेरियली मिसस्टेटेड प्रायर टू ऑडिट, अभी सर यही कहना चाह रहे थे, प्रायर टू ऑडिट, ये डेफिनेशन के अंदर है, आप देख लो डेफिनेशन खोल के, उसके अंदर लिखा है प्रायर टू ऑडिट, risk
Yes.
of
So
material
what is
misstatement may be defined as the risk that the financial statements are materially misstated prior to audit. ये बड़े इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड, और स्टूडेंट्स बिलीव मी, फाइनल लेवल का बच्चा जब हमारे पास आता है, आप तो इंटरमीडिएट लेवल पे हो, वो ये डेफिनेशंस नहीं सुना पाता, वो ये कंसेप्ट नहीं उसके माइंड में इम्बाइब्ड ही नहीं होते, एस्टेब्लिश ही नहीं होते। तो आप इन चीजों को सीखो और ये बहुत आपके काम आने वाली चीजें। यस।
so?
और अब देखो एक और सर लास्ट पॉइंट और बोल रहा हूं कि इससे आपका देखो इनहेरेंट रिस्क, कंट्रोल रिस्क करके रिस्क ऑफ मटेरियल मिसस्टेटमेंट आपका जल्दी हो गया, बिकॉज लिंकेज ऑटोमेटिकली जब आपके पास बैकअप हो जाएगा तो लिंकेज भी बड़े बहुत अच्छे तरीके से बनने शुरू हो जाते हैं। यस सर, यू कैन।
So guys, now we have understood risk of material misstatement. So risk of material misstatement is a chance, it is a probability, it is a risk that financial statements are materially misstated prior to any controls. So prior to any controls, this part has been taken relating to control portion, and this risk of material misstatement means chance of this thing happening. Okay, so now financial statements are there, these have been prepared. So now the auditor comes in the picture. Okay, so now what is the duty of auditor to do? Yes, tell me how he will conduct the audit. Auditor क्या करता है? What the auditor does to obtain audit evidence? Yes, students, tell me what the auditor does to obtain audit evidence. Yes, audit procedures. Yes, Bhumika, you are right. So auditor has to perform audit procedures. It is by the virtue of audit procedures that auditor obtains audit evidence, and he evaluates audit evidence then and forms his opinion for being expressed in the audit report. So this is the final sequence chain which I have been telling you from the very beginning. Okay, right from chapter 1 relating to nature, objective, scope of audit till we came to the chapter on audit report. Okay, so now the auditor comes into picture. Now here, for the first time in this whole concept of risk, audit procedures come into picture. Okay, a type of a new entry. Okay, side actor has come in the picture. So by way of audit procedures. So what was the objective of auditor? Objective of auditor was to keep the audit risk at a reasonably low level. At low level, every auditor would want to keep his audit risk to a low level. So, but there could be a possibility, there could be risk, there could be a chance that audit procedures applied by him fail to detect material misstatement, fail to detect misstatement that exists. Why it could be so? Because we know that auditor does not do 100% of checking. He conducts his audit on sample basis. So it may be that his sample is not proper. His sample is not truly representative of the whole of the population. Or it might be due to the fact that he has applied some inappropriate audit procedures. So it can be because of any of this factor, either his sampling is not proper or due to some other factor, like he has applied some inappropriate audit procedure in the given circumstances. Okay, like say he did not observe the physical counting process. He simply relied on inspecting the stock records. Then what he was required to do? He was required to apply a particular audit procedure which he failed to apply. Okay, or say he tested some transactions not according to proper sampling method, leading to erroneous results, which are leading to results which are not representative of the population, whereas these should have been. Okay, so this is a risk: failure to detect misstatements, failure to detect misstatements, failure to detect material misstatements by the auditor. The probability, the chance that auditor will not be able to detect misstatements, material misstatements that are existing and present in the financial statements. So this is called as detection risk. This is called detection risk. So नाम तो इसका डिटेक्शन रिस्क है स्टूडेंट्स, बट इसका मीनिंग है फेलियर टू डिटेक्ट. Risk of failure to detect misstatements. Risk, chances, probability of failure to detect misstatements. So now whether it is in the hands of auditor, yes, it is in the hands of auditor. यही तो चीज है उसके हाथ में. Say students, if the auditor is if the auditor in a company finds that control risk is high, meaning that controls are not operating effectively, meaning that controls will not be able to prevent misstatements that may occur. Okay, if he finds control risk is high, then what he will do? What he will do? He will increase area of his checking. To keep his overall audit risk at low level. Okay, so guys, when I would go a step further and try to explain to you something. Say now when detection risk is high, tell me when detection risk is high. Yes, yes, students, tell me when detection risk is high. When an auditor considers detection risk to be high. Say when he considers that his audit procedures may fail to detect a material misstatement. Say students that if the client is new to the auditor, now tell me whether detection risk would be high or low. tell me when detection risk, when the client is new to the auditor is auditing for the first time. Okay. Then in such a case, whether the detection risk would be high or low. Yes, guys, only Bhumika and Darshan. What about others? Yes, almost everybody is writing high. Yes, it is right. It would be high. Komal, sorry. Yes, Komal, how you are stating it should be, it would be low when the client is unknown to the auditor. He is auditing accounts of that company for the first time. That means that he is not familiar with the company. He has little understanding of the company. He would have to make more effort. So detection risk would be high. The chances that his procedures applied by him are not sufficient to detect material misstatement, those would be on higher side. So in such a case, detection risk would be high. Okay. So is that clear? So what is the definition of detection risk? Now we come to the definition part at page 4.7 of your module. At page 4.7 of your module. Yes, what is the definition? So I'll read it and simultaneously explain to you. So definition of detection risk. Module page number 4.7. So students, open up your module. Module page 4.7. So detection risk is the risk. It is the chance that the procedures performed by the auditor, to reduce the audit risk to a low level, because that is the main purpose of auditor, will not detect what? A material misstatement. A misstatement, again the same lines, that exists and that could be material either individually or when aggregated with other misstatements. Okay. So Sanchit, yes, you are asking the right question. Sanchit is asking how detection risk can be reduced. Detection risk can be reduced by say by selecting appropriate sample, by applying appropriate audit procedures which are required in those circumstances. So clear to you, Sanchit Pathak? Yes, Sanchit. Is it clear to you? So again, guys, read the definition as far as had required you. Read this definition from module page number 4.7 regarding detection risk. Read this definition. We have lost contact with Rajiv sir. So probably he would be joining any moment, or because of some glitch, I think. So read the definition at page 4.7 of your module. So the risk that procedures performed by the auditor to reduce the audit risk to an acceptably low level will not detect. The chance that procedures will fail to detect. The chance that procedures will not detect. A misstatement that exists and that could be material either individually or when aggregated with other misstatements. Yes, guys. Yes, guys. Have you done with it? Are you done with it? Definition of detection risk. Are you done with it? Yes, drop your mail, send feedback. Yes, Bhumika is saying yes, done. Yes, Sanchit is also saying okay. So another thing, guys, you have to remember about audit risk is that audit risk does not risk loss of goodwill or potential loss of clients. It is the say if the audit risk materializes, assume if the audit risk materializes that auditor gives inappropriate opinion, financial statements are misstated and the auditor gives inappropriate opinion. Okay, what it would result? The reputation of the auditor would nosedive. He may be involved in litigation. He may be caught in some regulatory action, and ultimately there may be a loss of clients for him. So this risk of loss of clients or loss of goodwill or litigation, these are not covered in audit risk. These are a consequence of expressing inappropriate opinion. Why? Because here audit risk has already materialized. जिसका डर था वो हो गया. Okay. Okay, so you remember famous songs, you remember Hindi movie songs, guys? Do you remember? So I think there is a some line. So what was feared has happened. So there is some line also, some music track also. So these kind of things, potential loss of clients, loss of goodwill, litigation, these are not covered in the definition of audit risk. Audit risk is a technical term defined in essays, defined in essay 200. All these audit risk, inherent risk, control risk, detection risk, these are all basic terms. These are defined in essay 200. First essay. Although these are in chapter number 4, but these terms have been defined in essay 200. Okay, so you have to remember this aspect also in relation to audit risk. And the second thing which you have to remember about audit risk is that whatever definition of audit risk is, reverse of it is not true. Reverse of it is not included in definition of audit risk. It means like say we know that audit risk is the risk of expressing an inappropriate opinion when financial statements are materially misstated. But it might so happen that auditor gives a modified opinion when financial statements are in fact not misstated. So ulta, this is not audit risk, because why? Why it is so? Because the possibility of this happening is very low. It is very insignificant that financial statements are okay, but the auditor gives a wrong opinion. Auditor gives a modified opinion. Okay, so this you have to also remember that this is not included in audit risk. Okay. Yes, Sanchit, you are asking whether there is a need to learn essay number or not. Yes, Sanchit, these essay numbers would, as you prepare, your mind would automatically record them because these are coming so often, so number of times. However, take care in the exams not to write wrong essay number. If you do not remember, leave it. Just simply write what you know about the topic, what you know about the answer, but do not quote wrong number. Wrong essay number is to be avoided. Like I've been saying in the case of corporate laws, also in the Companies Act also, if you do not remember the section correctly, do not quote it. Just write simply in the lines without quoting the law provision, without quoting the section number. Okay. Okay, guys. So is the topic of audit risk basically sir wanted you to take a track. Sir wanted you to make you understand how you have to prepare, how you have to learn, how you have to prepare. So we have tried to basically explain the things to you as how you have to prepare by taking this this concept of audit risk and its components. So what you have to do is you have to understand it by practical means, and then you have to remember the definition part, which or the things which you are going to actually write in the exam. So you cannot write before understanding. So therefore we have been trying to link you up the things by giving examples and all that, but in examination you are going to write specifics. Okay. So clear, sir? Clear? Yes, clear, students? So students, Do you have any other doubt quickly? So we have already we exceeding the time limit. As sir has informed you that I am again writing his numbers. If you have any problem, you can message him or you can make a call to him at these numbers. He is available, he would be available during the day to resolve your doubts, queries relating to auditing. Yes, Sanchit, you can call at any during daytime between 10 and 6. You can call anytime, and even if he doesn't pick up your call, uh, he would call back you. This much I can assure. Siva Ranjani, as far as Caro 2020 is concerned, it is not possible to take it up whole Caro 2020. It requires you have to learn, these are law provisions, and it requires a complete 3-hour class. Okay, so guys, this is over for auditing, and my best wishes to all of you, and hope all of you come out with flying colors in your exams, and best of your preparations. Wishing you best of your preparations, and I hope that you would be putting your best foot forward while you are preparing. Okay, guys, thank you so much, students, for bearing with us, for listening to us patiently. Thank you, and a very good night. Good night to all of you guys. Yes.